Aster and Hyperliquid. These platforms have been making a lot of news recently. A few days ago, Aster launched and did over 10,000% in 8 days. That's actually 100x. So the momentum started with this tweet from CZ Binance when he tweeted about this coin far back at $0.17, and what he said was, "Well done, good start, keep building." And shortly after, you can see Aster started running and went as high as $2.4. Right now, it's currently at $1.9. So even if you bought when CZ Binance tweeted it, that is still a 10x at this current price. Aster has to be one of the most celebrated coin on Twitter because most persons that bought it actually made money from it. As a matter of fact, if you look at the chart for Asters, I'm going to put this on a daily time frame. Now, when you look right, even if it came the next day, you would have still made money buying Asters. The third day, the fourth day, you would have still made money buying Asters even at the top. So this was why it sparked the interest of a lot of persons on Twitter, and most persons were excited because they made money from it. But the question going around Twitter recently has been, how high can Asters go in these bull markets? Some persons are saying $10, other persons are saying $50, just like Hyperliquid. Then there are a few other persons that are saying $100 in this bull market. Well, what I'm going to do in this video is to give a realistic target as to where I think Asters is going to go in this bull market. So if you're not subscribed to this channel right now, what are you actually waiting for? Do that right now and like this video, and let's get started. So before I give you my price target for Asters, let's start with what is actually Asters. Aster is the perpetual DEX. So let me start by breaking this down so you understand the concept very well. Let's start with perpetuals. Perpetuals is like a futures contract with no expiry date. So you guys trade futures on Binance, Bybit, and most of these big exchanges, right? So the same way you go long or short trading futures, that's the same way you can do it on Asters. Let's go over to DEX. DEX is simply a decentralized exchange. So Binance, Bybit, which I mentioned initially, are actually centralized exchanges, but DEX is actually a decentralized platform where your KYC is not required and a lot of those details are not required. Just your wallet address and funding your money in the platform, and that is all you need to get started trading. Unlike when you want to trade on centralized exchanges where you have to do KYC and the rest of that. How do you even use Asters? If you look right here, they have an airdrop coming very soon, and this is part of the reason why they're having a lot of hype and buzz around Twitter and all of the social media platforms right now. So if you want to qualify for their airdrop, because if you look right here, they're having an airdrop campaign where 4% of the token supply is actually going to be unlocked, which is valued at over $600 million. That would be a lot of money if they're going to share that for airdrop. So here's how you can stay positioned for that and get started with it. First, you're going to go to their website. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description. Make sure to use that to sign up. Next thing you're going to do is to connect your wallet. So I'm going to select all wallet because I want to use MetaMask wallet. And I'm going to click on connect. So my wallet is connected. Next, you want to get your key. So you're just going to click on send request to get your key. So once you click on that and click on confirm, it's going to bring you up to this section. Now, for you to qualify for the airdrop, you need to start trading on their platform. So there's the sports section, there's the perpetual section, there is the 1000x portfolio and the rest of that. So you need to start trading. What I know would give you more volume is perpetuals. So you can start trading perpetuals. For those that do trade perpetuals as futures in Binance, Bybit, you can start doing it right here so that you would accumulate points and get rewarded when they do their airdrop. So how do you start trading? First, you have to deposit. So click on deposit and select the chain you want to actually deposit. So if you have the money in BNB, Solana, Arbitrum, anyone. So I do have mine in Arbitrum, so I'm just going to select that, and here I'm going to select the token. So I'm going to use USDT because I do have some USDT here which I had before now, although this is not what I'm going to use for it when I'm trading. So you need to fund either there are a lot of coins there. For Arbitrum, you can see USDT, ETH, USDC, and USDCE. And even if you don't use Arbitrum, you can use BNB, ETH, or Solana, anyone that actually works for you. You can use it to start trading right away. So click on approve and click on confirm. Okay, so that's completed. So it's going to take approximately 5 to 10 minutes for the money to be deposited right here. And once it's deposited, I can even refresh this right now to see if it's here. Or if it's not here yet, you'll be able to see it in that 5 to 10 minutes. So the money has deposited and it took 5 minutes. I hope they can able to fix it so it's going to be very fast. It could be faster than what it is right now. So if you want to start trading perpetuals, you're going to select perpetuals right here. Click on enable trading, click on continue, and click on confirm. So once you have that, then you can start trading any coin. So here is a list of all of the coins on this platform. So pick any one of your choice and select your leverage. You can choose to go long or go short if you want. Mind you, this is just a test. This is not my main wallet I'm using to farm this airdrop. If you want to close the trade, you come down here, click on market, and click on confirm. This is going to close the trade for you instantly. So that's basically how you can trade on this platform. And same way, if you want to withdraw your money, just click on withdraw, select the token, and put in the amount you want to withdraw. Click on withdraw. So there's a withdrawal fee of 0.5 USDT. So this is basically what you can do to qualify for this airdrop. So make sure to use my link in the description to get started if you want to qualify for this airdrop. Now let's go back to why do I think this is actually a big deal. So if we go to CoinMarketCap right here and let's look at Binance. This is for spot exchange. If you look at the volume right here, you can see Binance is the biggest exchange, right? You can see the volume is just $25 billion in the past 24 hours. But let's go to the derivative section of it. If you look at the derivative section of it, you can see that Binance is actually doing $93 billion in the past 24 hours in derivatives. So derivative is actually futures, which is perpetuals, right? So it simply tells you that perpetuals or derivative or futures, anyone you want to call it, is doing almost 4 times more volume than the spot market. So it tells you that this is actually bigger than the spot market, right? If you really want to understand how big perpetual DEX is, you can look at Hyperliquid right here, which has done over $10 billion in perpetuals volume in the past 24 hours. And Binance right here has done $93 billion. Now, this is a decentralized platform. It is moving pretty fast because in less than 1 year, they've been able to achieve this big milestone, doing over $10 billion consecutively on the futures market. But let's look at Aster's and see what their volume looks like in the past 24 hours. And if you look at the PEP volume for Aster's in the past 24 hours is $83 billion, which is almost equal to what Binance is doing. So it simply tells you that this is really a big space, and that is why it has actually been making a lot of news recently. So enough of this, let's go back to the price target of what I think for Aster's. To do that, I'm going to do some comparison between Hyperliquid, Pump.Fun, and Aster's, and that is because these ones have been trading prior to this time and they have a lot of information that can help me do some speculation as to where I think the price of Aster's is going to be in the coming months. So let's start off by going to CoinMarketCap and searching for Aster's. And if you look at it right here, the token is to be called APX, so it got migrated to Aster's. Now market cap is $3.1 billion, unlocked is $2.27 billion. Okay, the volume is actually insane, 1 point something billion dollars in 24 hours, and the FDV is $15 billion. Now let's start with, so for some of those persons that have been saying Aster's will get to $10 from $1.9, let's just say $2 is actually 5x from here, which puts this price at $15 billion, and this should be $75 billion. Let's check that of Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid has a market cap of $16 billion and FDV of $49 billion. So for those that are saying Aster's will get to $50 just like Hyperliquid, you're simply going to divide $50 by 2, which should give you 25x, right? So 25 multiplied by $3 billion right here. That should give you somewhere around $75 billion for market cap for Aster's in this bull market. That is if it actually happens. And for the FDV, that should give you over $300 billion in this bull market. That looks quite unrealistic if I have to be sincere. And then those persons that are even saying $100 for Aster's, I mean, that should be around $700 billion for FDV. That's actually crazy if that really happens. But to the best of my knowledge, I don't think that's going to happen in this bull market. Even though I see that it might actually happen in the coming years, I don't see that happening in this bull market. So what is actually my price target? For me to get my price target, there are a lot of things I put into consideration. Number one is buyback. Aster's is making a lot of money right now in terms of, if you look at the volume, they are doing crazy volumes. And if you go to the fees and revenue, 24 hours, they are doing $13 million in revenue. 7 days, $119 million. 30 days, $162 million. This should most likely be bigger if they continue doing at least $10 million daily. So at the moment, Aster has not announced that they are going to be doing any buyback and bond, just like Hyperliquid and Pump.Fund. If you look at Hyperliquid and let's look at their chart. So if you look right here, you can see Hyperliquid had this run to $35, retraced to $9, and since then it has actually been in an uptrend. It has been going upward, and part of the reason has been that Hyperliquid has been using almost 99% of their revenue daily to actually buy back their token. So I believe if Aster has to implement similar thing, their token would have a pretty high run, even higher than the way Hyperliquid ran, because they are making more revenue when you compare them with Hyperliquid. They're making more revenue than Hyperliquid, so that gives them more money to actually buy their tokens, and then that's going to go. But the thing is, the CEO actually hinted that they've not started buying back and bond, but that is part of their target. So we really don't know if they are going to start using only 10% or 20% or 100% to start buying back their token. That would actually influence how high this token is going to go. So if you are using 100% or 90%, just like Hyperliquid or Pump.Fund, I mean, this token is going to explode beyond what you're seeing it right now. But that's actually a long-term play, not what you're going to be looking at for in the coming days, because the CEO doesn't sound like someone that is under pressure to do that instantly. So it might take a while, let's say a month or 2 months, before that gets implemented. So you have to put that into perspective if you think buying Aster is a good choice for you. So let's go over to the chart for Aster. So this is the chart right here. I'm just going to bring this down to like smaller time frame. So 4 hours right here. So what I'm seeing is this was trading below this trend line, right? And then finally it has broken above this trend line. So most likely we should see Aster get above this in the coming days if the market is actually good. One final thing before I'll give you my exact price target you have to put into consideration is these guys have token unlocks that will be coming soon. So according to CoinMarketCap right here, on the 4th of October, 4% of the supply will be unlocked, which is $616 million. On the 16th of October, another $231 million will be unlocked, and it's going to be every 16th of the month where $231 million gets unlocked. Now let's look out for where is this token actually going to. First, with this one, is actually going for airdrop, which means most persons would most likely sell their airdrop token, right? The next one is going for community and ecosystem. That's not very clear as to who is getting it, if team is getting some or if investors are getting some. It's not clearly stated. But one thing I know is investors that bought in very early, because I think not only Binance invested in this in the early stage, so there are some other investors in the early stage which I think would take some profit because they actually bought at almost 0 point something dollars. So they are up on serious profit already, and some of them might choose to take profit depending on how Binance handle this very well, because it's going to be very critical if these guys start dumping their token on the market. So I guess that Binance should be able to handle this properly, and then we might not see a lot of dumps just like when it's for like a regular token. But that does not mean this token is not going to dump a little bit. I mean, there are sometimes it would come back and then it would retrace a little bit and then continue going upwards, just in case they're able to implement that buyback as fast as possible. So having token unlock and airdrop token and the rest of that in mind, my conservative target for Aster in this bull market is $10. $10 would actually put Aster at $15 billion and FDV of $75 billion, which I think is actually a very fair valuation for it if it's able to pull some of the things it has been doing so far, and if they're able to remain consistent with the trading volume and how people have been talking about their platform. Again, it could go beyond $10, but I'm personally thinking $10 would be a more realistic target for this coin in this bull market. It could also be lesser than that, but I mean, and that's where I'm looking at for in this bull market. So if you're holding Aster or you want to buy Aster, note that it's actually going to be kind of like a long-term play, not a coin you will just buy instantly and sell instantly. No, it's actually a coin that you're going to hold for months or maybe probably up to a year for it to achieve up to like $5 to $10, depending on some of the metrics. I mean, it could still go beyond $10, if they implement 100% buyback, that would actually send this coin nuts. Like, this coin could literally go to like $20 if they're able to do that. But we don't know right now what the team is planning and what they're going to, the percentage they're going to allocate to buying back the token, and even if the hype is going to continue just like it is right now, and if they're even going to remain dominant over Hyperliquid in the coming days or in the coming weeks. Well, we get to find out if this hype is going to be sustained. So this is basically my prediction for Asters in this bull market. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.